Hey everyone, it's me, Buster Green. So the last couple of videos I've been doing have been very good for YouTube's algorithm and very good for my wallet, but very bad for my soul and my self-esteem. So fuck that, let's just do a normal Gundam video for a change because I haven't done one of those in a while, and I'm overdue. Now I'm going to do a really fast, quick session of Gundam news because nothing has actually happened in quite a couple of months, and that's the main reason I haven't been doing Gundam news is because there has been no Gundam news. The only really thing that has come out lately is the new Seed movie, and I'm very tempted to talk about the Seed movie because there's already a very weird online discussion around it, and there's some very funny memes already. But I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like I'm qualified to because I haven't seen the movie yet. And unfortunately, as much as I want to see the movie, it currently hasn't been announced for the US, but I am expecting it to eventually come out here probably by the summer, even if nothing official has been confirmed yet. I just expect it to come out eventually because the movie is crushing the records in Japan. It had a bit of a slow opening weekend, but it got really good reviews and really good positive buzz. So then on the second weekend, it made over 1 billion yen, more than twice of the money that it got in the first week. And now it's doing well, merch is flying off the shelves. So yeah, I would say the localization of Gundam Seed Freedom is inevitable. And that's about it for the Gundam news because things have been massively slow. The only other thing that I feel like I can discuss is the upcoming Gundam Iron Blood Orphans spin-off Uter Hunt, which was originally going to be an anime. Then it came out as a gacha game, and everyone hated the gacha game. So the gacha game was shut down, and now it's going back to being an anime, and hopefully the anime eventually comes out. But yeah, that's kind of funny because the gacha game was so bad it never even made it to the US, despite the fact the game was doing some interesting work of revealing the other 50 mysterious Gundam frames from IBO. Anyway, that game got canceled, and because the anime aspect of it was kind of like the best part of the game, the anime itself is being fleshed out and being better connected with itself and being repackaged as a one-and-done anime OVA movie to tell the story. I look forward to really seeing it because it seems like this project will work better as an OVA, and hopefully that eventually comes out too. Oh, and also the German Gundam Unreal Engine animation Gundam Requiem for Vengeance is still eventually coming out to Netflix, but probably not till like next winter. I'm still eagerly awaiting that because it's hardcore UC. Anyway, on to our main story today. Today I'm up here to talk about UC Engagey. And yes, I said Engagey because they call it UC Engagey on the title screen. Now, this is basically my official review of UC Engagey and how the first few months of the game have gone for me playing on the US server. I'm going to tell you guys if I think the game is good, and if you guys already think it's good and you're already playing it, I'm going to give you guys my daily strategies to maximize your free rainbow hardships because I've noticed people aren't getting as many as me, and maybe you're just doing it wrong. Anyway, so unless you've fully given up on Gundam UC Engagey, stay tuned to the rest of this video. So yeah, Gundam UC Engagey. It came out in like October, I think, and it's trying to fill the weird and gigantic hole that Gundam Breaker Mobile left behind in our hearts. And the first and most important thing I think I need to talk to you guys about with Engagey is how much it costs to actually play it. Now, unlike Gundam Breaker Mobile, you can actually play Engagey without spending money, and you actually can have a pretty good time with it. It does have an ultra predatory play to win model, but thankfully on the US server, very few players are actually buying into that scam. So the majority of players, I would say, are playing free to play, and therefore it's fair. Anyway, I'm going to give a quick recap here. If you guys aren't familiar with my backstory, I was super obsessed with Gundam Breaker Mobile. I was pretty much consistently one of the top 20 players on the North American server, and I spent a hideous amount of money on that game. And half the reason I started this YouTube channel was because I wanted to record my wins because they cost me so much real money. Anyway, yeah, so I spent too much money on Gundam Breaker Mobile, a game that no longer exists. And since it no longer exists, I'm very, very sad that the game has just been deleted along with all the money I spent on it to make room for Engagey. Now, wisely, Bandai thought America couldn't handle two Gundam gacha games at the same time, and I guess Uter Hunt proved that Japan couldn't either. But yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, so back to Engagey. With Engagey, I am not spending I'm basically barely giving this thing money because it's just not as good of a game. There's not like an urgency to spend money. There's not like a FOMO with like Gundam Breaker Mobile. And yeah, honestly, yeah, there's just like, I don't think a lot of people are spending money on this game, so there's no point. A lot of gacha games use this really predatory play-to-win model, and UC Engagey definitely does have that, but for me, I only buy gems when they're on sale once a month at the gem store, so that's like 3 purchases a month, and sometimes there's some extra gems on holidays, but by and large, like, UC Engagey is very, very affordable, I would say. Like, I never spend like more than $100 on it like in a month. The average PvP ranking I get in Engagey with that level of money is about 280, 250 from what I've noticed. As long as you're in the top 300 players, you get some pretty good bonuses. Sometimes I'm a little better some weeks, sometimes I'm a little worse. I'm pretty sure I've never cracked the top 50 of ranked players, and recently I've started to fall behind because I've been playing the game wrong, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so back to the predatory aspect of Engagey. So when Engage came out in the US, it does have this like interesting system set up called the UC Transcendence system, which allows your mobile suits to get these like 5 superpowers as long as they're ultra rare units. Now, unfortunately, while this system was free to access in the first 2 months of the game, now it's only free if a unit is like brand new in the game and less than 2 weeks old. Otherwise, to make this system work, you need to dump an insane amount of Rainbow Horror coins, and I'll talk about how to get those later. But yeah, so if you want to get ahead in this game and fully buy into the game's predatory play-to-win model, the game is expecting you to dump like over $500 a week into maxing out the gacha on every brand new unit that comes out each week. And that's insane. And I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 ultra whale players I've seen on YouTube who are doing that. But by and large, I think at least 90% of the player base on the US server can kind of see that this is a scam. And so therefore, they're not doing that. And that's actually a good thing because that means a majority of the people playing this game are free-to-play players, and that makes it a fair free-to-play game. Now, after getting past the cost, we have to talk about the gameplay model. Because it's a free-to-play gacha game, it unfortunately requires several daily logins to maximize your daily rewards. Now, at the bare minimum, if you just want to log in once and get everything, the game needs you to log in once a day, every day, after Japanese 6 p.m., which is about American 6 a.m. Now, to get everything in the game and to maximize your rewards, you need to log in about 3 or 4 times a day. So for me and my schedule, every morning I wake up around 9 a.m., I log in. That gets me the daily nighttime login bonus. And then I expend my AP and my BP and I do my research. Now, usually I have a lunch break at my job around noon. When lunch break happens, I play PvP because the PvP server has its own weird clock that resets at 11 a.m. So once the PvP clock resets at 11, lunch comes at 12, I log in, do my PvP, check my research, and expend any additional AP or BP I have to clear out my tanks so I'm good until the game's main clock resets. So the game's main in-game clock resets every day at about 2 a.m. Japan time, which for me in New York is about 2 p.m. New York time. Unless it's daylight savings time, then it shifts to 3 p.m. New York time. Anyway, when the game's main clock resets, that is the best time to do all the daily missions because they're all fresh at that time. At least that's what I think. I want to get those daily missions done as soon as possible, and this seems like the best time to do it so I don't have to think about them. And then usually I will try to log in right after 2 to do this, but it doesn't really matter if I logged in at noon. As long as I log in sometime in the afternoon, like even up to 5 or 8, that's usually enough time. Now, so when you log in to do your dailies, the main thing that has to be done is the following. Usually if there's an event going on, like the Pesce Montage event this week, you have to farm that event for 100 AP a day, which usually takes about 9 or 10 skip tickets, give or take on the mission. So do that first because the daily rewards are the only way you're going to clear out the event. Also, with the Pesce event, using events connected to the event will give you even more points as long as you're actually playing the missions. And that's usually the same for the other events. You should be very wary about skip tickets in this game. I know sometimes you don't have time and the skip tickets are like necessary, but if you do have like 3 seconds, just actually play the battle. The battles themselves usually only take like 3 seconds. The only problem is if you don't use skip tickets, then you have to go through like 4 different loading screens, which is like kind of majorly suckage. Anyway, so yeah, that's the daily missions in a nutshell. After that, you want to do your daily like grinding money missions, your daily farming missions, your daily free pulls. Take the money you get from the daily money missions, take it to the store, and then buy as much energy as possible from the money section and the friend point section. If you do this right, you should get about 800 AP. Then you're going to take the 800 AP and use that to farm the daily unit upgrade missions. And if you can max out a UR unit in any of these missions, that's how you're going to farm Rainbow Horror Coins. And you need to focus on the Rainbow Horror Coins. Every day you should be farming UR units so you can farm more Rainbow Horror Coins. Also, on top of that, you should also farm Rambo Rao's Bugu and the gun cannon, because those 2 units can only be unlocked from daily farming missions. Now, after about 3 months of farming, I've fully maxed out my Rijizi, my Char's Zaku 1, and the Shin Matsunaga Zaku, which was previously an event suit. Using the Shin Matsunaga Zaku and Shin Matsunaga as a pilot, I can instantly get a healthy crop of Rainbow Horror Coins every day, and I use those daily Rainbow Horror Coins to unlock the High New Gundam. I only fully unlocked the High New Gundam like a day ago. On top of that, I'm also going to quickly talk about clans. Now, if you have a clan, you can get even more Rainbow Horror Coins. And speaking of which, I have a clan, and I happen to have 4 empty spots in my clan. Potentially more, because there's a couple of people who are in my clan and who haven't played the game since launch. So yeah, if you want to join my clan, we have 4 spots we're eagerly trying to fill. And if we get more than 4 people, I'll bump whoever's been inactive the longest. But yeah, please join my clan. We need more clan people. So anyway, in the clan, you can also exchange modules. The modules you get from completing co-op missions. Now, you need to submit the SR modules. Those are the rarest modules you can get in co-op. And right now, each SR module is worth 40 clan points. And trading in those clan points will let you eventually unlock the full armored Gundam, which once again, you can use as a daily UR rainbow coin farm. So once again, I really need to point out that everything you're doing in this game is just daily farming to unlock Rainbow Horror Coins, to unlock better units, and to unlock maximum level powers. The last time I sign into UC Engage every day is around 11 before I go to bed. And that is once again to quickly clear up any backed up AP or BP, because I'm really annoyed at how little AP and BP you're able to save up in this game. They keep raising the level caps, but right now you still need to log in like 4 times a day. Hopefully, if they raise them a little bit higher, I can cut that down to 3 times a day, or maybe even 2 times a day. Anyway, yeah, so the main goal of UC Engage seems to be to get 30 UR level units as powerful as possible. To do this, you need 6 very strong UR units of each of the 5 main color categories: blue, green, yellow, red, and purple. The powers of these colors really don't matter. All that matters is they have pilots tied to those color categories, and the color categories kind of rock, paper, scissors each other. Additionally, despite the UR units being the absolute best units in the game and being your main focus, I think they kind of recently realized that the other units in the game are pure trash. So they recently introduced a new Master Battle mode that requires you to also max out 10 SR and R rank units. So fuck it, Gelgoog Marine, you're getting maxed out. Now, additionally, you can waste a ton of additional materials doing some ultra customization to your units, but a majority of free-to-play players are not bothering with this because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and it's a lot of time. So fuck it, I don't think that's worth it. But if you have the money to afford this, by all means, go ahead and do it. So once again, if you haven't noticed from this review, UC Engagey is kind of a tedious, grindy game with not a lot of payback. But there is one main still reason to play UC Engagey, and that is the anime. At least once or twice every month, the weekly missions in UC Engage tie into some brand spanking new Gundam anime. Now, the first one in the game highlighted Animal Gato's Rick Dom. And I kind of feel like I saw that one before in another Gundam video game. But since then, we've got some really good high quality content. We got some new Gundam The Origin animation featuring the demise of Char Zaku, previously only depicted in the original manga. And then we got an ongoing story about the game's original protagonist, Pesce Montagne, and how she is somehow present and indirectly responsible for all these crazy various events in the Gundam UC timeline. Pesce is basically like the Forrest Gump of the Gundam UC timeline. And so far, Pesce is having this insane and amazing pilot career. So far, in the 3 months I've been playing this game, she is now the canon-only pilot for the Saikamu Zaku test type and the GPO-4 Gundam. Now, I don't see myself dropping this game anytime soon because I am so hooked and fundamentally into Pesce's story. Also, in terms of playing it long-term, I am very, very looking forward to some additional teased events, like the one that fills in what Amuro and Char did during Double Zeta Gundam, and the first ever anime adaptation of Moon Gundam, which I am very psyched for. Like, I need to explain to you guys why this is so important, and here's some minor spoilers for UC Engage. UC Engage is doing the God's work of filling in and explaining some of the biggest plot holes and contrivances in Gundam history. As the game's only been out for a few months, so far they've only done like one major one, but the one major one they're doing right now is the one about how the game addresses the weird existence of the Gabara Tetra and the GPO-4 prototype Gundam. So the previous headcanon, at least for me, as far as I knew what the deal was with the Gabara Tetra and the GPO-4 was, I thought the GPO-4 existed as an incomplete Gundam skeleton, and SEMA made this like crooked deal with Anaheim to take control of it. And then because of SEMA's Zeon style, Anaheim completed the GPO-4 with this Zeon skin motif, and therefore we get the Gabara Tetra. However, UC Engage super interestingly rewrites this history by explaining and establishing that the GPO-4 did exist. The GPO-4 in the UC Engage canon was constructed alongside of the GPO-3 and finished at the same time as it. However, what they explain is that even though the GPO-4 Gundam existed as a Gundam and Pesce was its pilot, they also previously established that in 0082, Pesce fought a Zeon remnant girl who had a high mobility Kampfer, and Pesce killed her, and when she killed her, Anaheim scrapped the high mobility Kampfer and used the parts from that to make the Gabara Tetra Zeon armor. So UC Engage completely rewrote the Gabara Tetra's backstory and implied that this Tetra Zeon armor was hastily added on to the GPO-4 frame in a matter of days, kit bashed from the high mobility Kampfer. And yeah, that's a big mind-blowing revelation. Honestly, shit like that is the biggest and main reason I play UC Engage. The game itself, honestly not the best game, definitely not a good game, and yeah, I kind of wish if like these animes were just being like funded by Kickstarter. I think I'd rather just pay for the animes than like pay for the game. But yeah, like for the average Gundam casual fan, they're not going to do that. So this is like the only way some of this stuff can ever get like made and established. So that being said, like UC Engage is definitely not the best Gundam game ever made. Not even the best Gundam game ever made for like a cell phone, but it's what we got right now, and it's not the worst game either. At the same time, I do think a majority of the North American fan base has already realized that the game is a little bit too predatory and stopped giving it money. But I think that's a good thing because that means everyone playing the game right now, with a small exception, is playing free to play. So if you do want to try this game out, I think you might have fun with it. Now, it's definitely not worth giving the game money because, like, as it is, Gundam Breaker Mobile just got shut down, Gundam Evolution just got shut down, and there's a chance UC Engage might not, like, last that long, so definitely, like, buyer beware. If you give this game money, you're definitely not getting it back, but yeah, I think the game is absolutely worth playing as long as you don't give it money, because once again, to get ahead in this game, you have to spend, like, $500 on, like, every single unit every single week. Anyway, let me know if you guys have a different take on it. You might disagree with me, and that's okay. Let me know what you're experiencing, because your play with the game might be completely different than mine. But I still plan on playing this game daily for as long as it exists. So if you want to play with me, join my clan. We need more people to farm more clan points to to fully harvest the full art Gundam and get more Rainbow Heart coins. Anyway, that was my story today about why UC Engage matters. I'll be back later with hopefully some new anime reviews. Thank you. See you later.